Hey there, Simone here with Bulletproof Business Growth, as always with some ideas and insights of what to pay attention to when you are getting ready to scale your business. So if you're like most business owners, you always need more talent. Most of our clients, their teams are always overworked. They never have enough capacity or bandwidth, and they're always looking for more people. And the other aspect probably is that you need to get more out of the existing team that you have, and you probably also can't spend a fortune getting that amazing talent on board. Now, I just talked with one of our newer clients, and he had all those desires and complaints. And you know, when we look at his business, at this point, he really needs to go to that place where he has a good team in place. A lot of these people have been with him for a long time. They're loyal, dependable team members, and they are running out of capacity. They're running out of bandwidth. They're running out of skill set. So at this point, he has a bunch of people who are good generalists with good special skills, but what he needs to go to is hiring more experts, those specialists who can really dial it in and really bring new mojo, new ideas, and new inspiration, and of course, new strategy to the table. Because at that point, this is kind of that very crucial phase in business when you go from being a startup, and you may have been in business for 20 years already, but you're still kind of operating like a startup, to being a grown-up business. And in that place, you need specialists. You need those experts who can really help you as the CEO to get your business to the next level. So that it's a tough spot, because that actually means that as a CEO, you're going to be hiring people and leading people who are better at what they do than you are, and probably have ever been. So very, very important that this is being considered. So now he needs these experts, and let's call the client Ari. He's been interviewing 10, 20 people, and so far he's not really finding the level of person and the fit that he really, really needs. So at this point, he spent a ton of time on this. And since he is newer, he has not completed one of our most important hiring tools, which is having a crystal clear vision that's laid out exactly in the right way, in the bulletproof way, so that his team can really get where the company is going, what the strategy is, how they fit into it for the next 3 years. Now, that is one of the most important hiring tools when you really get hiring for experts. Now, he hasn't quite gotten that laid out, so he's talking about it, but he doesn't really have anything to share with these new possible team members. So this is stopping him, and this is also why he's spending a lot more time than he really needs to. So right now, he's not leveraging his vision. He is kind of stuck in a place where he is spending most of his time in operations. And when we did his first planning exercise, he was in a place where this is a company that is in a crucial spot. He had 45 objectives on his quarterly plan. So of course, there's no way in hell that they could be getting all that finished or getting focused or doing anything that they need to do. So he got it down to 5 objectives, and he was crushed when I said, hey, for the quarter, we can't really do more than 1 to 3. So more than 1 to 3 objectives for a quarter is too much, and it will dilute the focus for an already overloaded team. So we had to work on that. So we figured that he really needed to hire 2 more experts to really make a shift in the business. And the thing is that at this point, he's really hoping that getting these experts in will be like this magical solution. Suddenly all the problems will go away. Suddenly everything will get better. And all his woes will be gone. Now, when we talked about it, I said to him, look, all right, you can spend your time waiting for this unicorn, or you can, which also means you're wasting a ton of time, money, and momentum, or now the next part is we really need to focus on what the right now the go-to plan is with like the amazing people you already have, dialing them in while we're looking for this unicorn. So the first thing that we decided is that what we really needed to do is get him optimized, get him out of the weeds, get him out of operations the best we can, the most amount of time possible, so that he can actually focus on the stuff that he needs to do, which is true CEO work. So this is really important for him that he can get this done. Now, this is really not a good time to waste his time in the weeds, so he has to make sure that he is focused on what he needs to do here. So first thing we need to do is get more time, which means cut down on meetings, because that's what we figured he's spending most of his time. So cutting down on meetings, very important, because that's a huge time suck for him. Now, when we look at that, there's certain meetings he has to be on because they're crucial, and then there are a lot of them that he thought he had to be on, but when we really defined it, he's like, you know what, I can probably save 5 to 10 hours a week getting out of these meetings. And then the other thing we did is we made sure that he redefined what his role is, because right now he's in this frame of mind where everybody needs him for everything, which partly is true and partly it's just what he's thinking. So we need to dial it down to a place where he can only spend his time on the 5% of stuff that really requires him. So that means 95% of his right now can be shifted to other people. So this is, of course, a daring operation. It's a daring move. And the hardest part is having the discipline to stick to it. So this is how we set this up for his existing team. And this is what I call the domino effect, because this is how we can take the people he already has, optimize them, getting them as dialed in as possible while he's looking for that extra talent, for those extra results, for that unicorn who is going to help him really level up. So first of all, we're going to take all the people that he has who are good, who are willing, and make sure that we help them understand how they're currently spending their time. And most of them, they have kind of their slice of expertise, and then they have a lot of stuff that they're doing that really doesn't fit into this. So we do that by having them do a time study. And what that really means is spending a few days where they note down everything they do. So when they note down everything they do, then at the end of the day, we can look at, how much of that time was spent strategically and how much of that time was spent with stuff that really doesn't need to get done or that could get done by someone else. And that's really the key to this. All the stuff that should not really be on their plates. Next thing is we have to define what really their highest and best use is, what that sweet spot is, that they are where they're delivering the highest value to the company and where they're in their best performance. So once we define this for a few days and get a clear picture of this, then we can start playing the shell game. What that really means is all of his experts are taking account of what their sweet spot is, and they're focusing in on just that. Now that means there's a lot of stuff left over, so that goes down to the next level down, whoever their support staff is, whoever their support people are. Some of them don't really have anybody, some of them only have one person, but we got to look at when we trim the fat, where do we end up? And that really helps figuring out what the pieces are that aren't currently really getting done. So we keep them at the high level stuff, and then we're load shedding all the lower level stuff. So what that does, aside from opening up time and bandwidth, is also he has a team that's getting pretty close to burnout because they've been burning the candle at both ends for quite a while, and they've been doing more than they can ongoingly. So shifting responsibilities and dialing them in and getting them really, really laser focused on the sweet spot helps them refresh. It helps them get re-energized. It helps them with that need of variety and getting kind of that new mojo and that new focus. So hugely important. And it also puts them more on purpose. It helps them really do the things they're best at. So they are in their sweet spot. So at that point, we're hiring for the lower level stuff, and we are still searching for that unicorn, for those experts who will really help bringing new knowledge into the company that we don't have right now. So to really put this thing with rocket fuel, that's what we need to do both. We need to take the existing team and really get it dialed in while we bring in more talent, more experts. So that means once we do that, we have the right people in the right seats, and then we can look at what seats are left so we can fill them with new talent. It might be a lower, more junior level position, which is easier to hire for. So instead of combing through resumes for executives after executives, which takes a lot of time, we can fill those lower level positions first, bring everybody else up so that we get everybody super dialed in. So we have a little bit of a hybrid where we do both at the same time. So if that's something that is up for you, that you're still struggling with, we have a brand new training out there right now that addresses all this stuff in detail. So go to bulletproofbusinessgrowth.com/leap, bulletproofbusinessgrowth.com/leap, and check out the new training. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week, and I will see you next time.